Hare Sachidanandamurte Nirsaranjaya Shantaya Shri Shivanandaya Te Saramangalamangale Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Charane Trambake Gauri Narayani Namastude Narayani Namastude Narayani Om Namah Shivaya.
Shivaya.
Well, we have had lots of questions here. Narayan. Where's Narayan? I want to bring the child here. What a name. Om Shuklam Bardam Vishnu Shivanam Chadabhujam Prasannam Sarvekno Chande Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachidanandamurte Nirsaranjaya Shantaya Shri Shivanandaya Te Namaha Sarvamangalamangale Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Charane Trambake Gauri Narayani Namaste. Gopala. Om Namah Shivaya Gopala. Thank you. What should one do if I have a spiritual experience? What should one do if you have a spiritual experience? Don't share it. Keep it with yourself. These spiritual experiences are personal to encourage you on the spiritual path, to show that many things are there beyond what our visible eyes, ears, nose, smell, taste can do. Beyond the physical senses, there are other dimensions do exist which we cannot penetrate through our physical senses. But you do have higher senses too. It's not operative now. But as you progress, your higher senses will operate. Psychic senses will open up. And you will have experiences of other dimensions. Means, it's not unscientific. Like X-ray. It's not that X-ray is something we consider as a miracle. Because we know how it operates. So also anything what you call miracle or experience is we are unable to explain through modern terms and terminology. When we are unable to explain through the modern scientific terms, then we call it unexplainable or miracle. If you are emotional, you call it miracle. If you are scientist, you call we do not know. Like fire walking, what is his name? The professor Delgado. He is a great scientist, professor of brain. Lots of research work on the brain. He was the professor at the Yale University now in Spain. He was also at the fire walking ceremony, and he saw all our working fire. Swami Durgananji, she put all these people, Swami, Swami I'm always I get to Swami there, I don't know why. Behind it.
It's the wrong ashrama.
We can wait a little longer, no harm. Time is on my side. So they all walked around the fire, and Swami Durgananji thought, it is nothing, it's very easy. And so everybody is at the end of the fire pit, there is an altar, they board, and the altar is fire pit is there, and the altar is on a cement area. So she prostrated. Just before her, another fire walking in front of, he also prostrated, and as she prostrated, in his foot there was a small hot charcoal. He did not know. As he was prostrated, it fell to the ground, and she did not know that. She just put her hand and then prostrated. Oh, it's nothing. It's very easy. As she prostrated, her hand burned on the but not the food. Anyhow, when he told that to the scientist, he said, "We can't explain. No scientific explanation. That's all. It's simple." Okay. But it's not scientific explanation, not possible, because we do not know the psychic phenomena, psychic energy, etc. So there will be always unexplained mystery. Just imagine, 200 years ago, someone bring a tape recorder and the video machine from, suppose that was Satyam Swami Padma coming from Mars and brought the video machines and video from the tape recorder 200 years ago. And suddenly he started video recording, and so you played back your own face and your own voice. My God, he must be a Superman. Look at this. He's able to catch us and put it in and replay back everything, all my voice. 200 years I never dreamt any of these type of things. If we could do that 200 years ago, we call him, he's a not a magician. He's a Superman. Superman, what the power is. So in another 100 years from now, the kids now not even born, or maybe some of the small kids, I just now gave the name Gopala, his grandchildren will be, they know more about all the psychic phenomena, going to moons and Mars will be just something like a ordinary thing. Just right now, you go to India and back and forth by jet plane, you know. 200 years ago, who can imagine? You can go across the Atlantic Ocean by Concorde, 3.5 hours to New York from London. Far beyond imagination even, you see. And who ever thought that man will land on the moon and walk barefoot, not barefoot. So, the experiences what you get is to encourage you. There are many other dimensions do exist. There are wavelengths. Everything is wavelength. Everything is waves. There's nothing but waves exist. Energy waves. Even this watch is nothing but waves, but it's gross state. So you can't see its oscillation, its motion. Our perception shows this is hard because its wavelength is in a very low and low velocity. But when its velocity is increased, you call it energy. E equal to mc squared, you call it. So all experiences are good, provided you don't stop at that experience. Because many experiences you do get it on the path. It's like you were driving from London to come here. On the way you saw a shop where they are selling dresses. You went and looked, very nice. Then and they saw a shoe shop. Look there. So you go on aimlessly start wandering. And by the time the retreat is over, and you are still looking. So the experiences will give you, it will be sometimes distracting. It has got its purpose is to give you enthusiasm and confidence that is something more than exists than your physical. But if you just go on wander in the psychic jungle, looking for all the experiences and how it comes and where it comes from, you get trapped. You will lose your goal. So that's why experiences are good, and don't take it too much seriously about this. Experiences are all, it's like when you walk, you will see, you're bound to see many things on the streets. But again, what you see is not the universal. Just take for example, it's the biggest London street. Oxford. Oxford? New York, it is Broadway. So you walk to Oxford or Broadway, and with your wife or with your children, maybe with your family and friends and wife and children, or walking through the Oxford, or other people walking through the Broadway, and another family from another country is also walking, and other people also walking around the thing. When you finish end of the tour, you ask them what did they see. They will say the same thing. The wife will say, "Ah, it's a beautiful hat, honey." And she was, oh, what a beautiful hat. And an engineer walking by, oh, look at the skyscraper, look at that, oh, impassioned building, how tall it is. And he explained about how and wonder about the architectural condition. And a hippie walking, I saw lots and lots of joints. People are smoking grass there. And the Satya also walked, and he saw, oh, look at the beautiful horn there, you see. I never seen a horn like that. I saw a horn, such a horn, I never saw, he will say. And a fashion girl goes, look at the New York fashion store, all those things, you know, the 7th Avenue, you can see all the new dresses coming out of the factories and moving this way and that way through the streets. So each one will explain about what they saw. It won't be the same. I came to London. Now if they ask tomorrow, and I go back to, what did you see in London? I say, I saw the retreat. And I saw the London Center. In between I saw our Land Rover, which we bought. That's all I saw. So that's the situation. The experience, or infinite number of experiences are there. You are bound to get many, some of the experiences, not everything for everybody. What you want, you will see it. And then, it's for a personal thing. Don't think that others, oh yes, I got this experience. Did you get Barbara? No. Oh, then Barbara is disappointed. Maybe Swami has got some special technique to get that experience. Swami doesn't have it. It is your own wavelength attracts the wavelengths of whatever there exists. Like in a radio. So many radio stations are transmitting simultaneously music and lectures and all these things in the same atmosphere. But each one has got different wavelengths. So if you open the radio, you get only one particular wavelength and particular station. Other stations you can't get it, but when you turn to the other stations, you get other wavelengths. Same in spiritual experience also. You tune to various wavelengths according to your evolution. And then you see that experience. So that is, so do not take, your experience is important, and it is important for you. But don't think that others also get the same experience. If they don't get it, don't think they will consider you what? If you go and tell your experience and they ask, hey, did you get this experience during meditation? Then they think that you are crazy, because I didn't get it. How come you get it? That a small story about one of the movie stars in the United States, a singer, that name is Barbara Streisand. She is a singer, and I don't know anything, but I read somewhere in a magazine or somewhere about her biography. When she was a small girl, she used to hear sound in her ear, and she went and asked other children, do you hear sound in your ear? And they thought she's crazy. She said she developed her music talent by tuning to the sound what is coming from inside. We know that yogis know it's called anahata sound, and she developed that instinct of hearing the inner sound. With that, she matched her external sound voices. Now, if we just go and other singers did not hear the inner sound, that means that they thought she must be crazy, you see. But so this is the situation. So experience will be there, and this is mostly individual, and you cannot make this into a common experience. Again, example is I saw Master's vision when Master came to me after his departure in the physical plane. I was in Wallorange in Canada. I got the telegram the Master passed away. 2 days before the telegram came, Master is seriously sick. So I could not leave because of, I just started my yoga camp. First time I was only two staff with me, and I could not leave these 40 people that arrived there alone. Ashram was not big at that time, plus I didn't have any staffs. And to leave all these people and just to go to India, it's not right. Plus I also want to go and see my Master at the last moment of his life. This conflict was there in my mind. So I sent a telegram to see if he's really sick, and if really my presence, if he's really sick, I'll definitely fly to India just see a few hours and then come back. Next flight he'll come back. So I even got my reservations to get that. So I waited for my telegram, and telegram came back. Next telegram, he's feeling better. So I cancelled my tour, but it was not right news I got. Next day I got the news that he passed away. I was so literally, not because of death has got no meaning. I couldn't be there to see his last moment of his earthly life, to see him and get his blessings. I was at that in those days. Ashram was small. I myself used to sleep in a tent, and Laurentians is colder than there, even summertime. And at 3 o'clock, between 3 and 4, I was sleeping, and suddenly a voice came. Vishnu Swami, wake up! Vishnu Swami, wake up! I said, who is calling at this early morning? So without getting from my sleeping bag, there's the next, another tent is there, one of the another staff. He's a French Canadian. He's also in charge of the kitchen. So I thought maybe he's calling for some urgent. First of all, no one called me Vishnu Swami. Only Master used to call me, and few of the senior staffs of the ashram, they only call us Vishnu Swami. And maybe he must have, though the name is very familiar, but I'm sure Andre must have called. His name was French, and his name is Andre. So I shouted from my tent. His tent is next to me. Andre, did you call me? What's the wrong? What's the purpose of calling? And after a few minutes, he shouted back, no, Swami, I didn't call. Or maybe it's a dream or hallucination or what. So I went to sleep. I slept again. Again, voice came, Swami, wake up. This is not funny. And I just got up, and there I saw Masters standing. Energy pattern. I can't describe that experience. It only lasted a very short time. And Master tried to lift me up to upper dimensions to show me that what we see is not only the physical dimensions, but I was in a shock to see him, and unexpectedly in my own tent, and which is so many things happened so fast on that morning, and it literally lifted me up, and then the vision is gone, and I told Andre that, Andre, get up, you can see the Master's presence here. And he got up, and from his tent he saw a bright light over my tent at that time. He didn't see the Master, but he saw a mysterious light. So anyway, what I'm trying to say, this is a personal experience. I can't say that neither I can prove to anybody, nor it is important to anybody. It is only important to me. So I just don't go and tell to everybody, oh, Master came, and because I'm a great man. Because Master only came to me, not to any other disciples. That is not the attitude, you see. Maybe my wavelength was particularly necessary, and the Master said also a message, I'm always with you, Vishnu Swamiji. This message he gave me, it still rings that. And it's true, wherever I go, even I was almost shot down by Israelis and Egyptians, in the most dangerous situation, so mysteriously he is there to help me. All this what I am doing now is not my power. I don't have any strength. But I know his wavelength is always moving, and I only tune now and then when there's no ego. When there's ego, I can't tune. When the ego goes down, then the energy flows. His energy will flow through me. And you all get inspiration. You think it's coming from me. It's actually the energy I am just trying to put like a radio. I'm tuning to that energy, and I'm passing it on, passing on to you. But most of the time, this ego is very difficult to conquer the ego. I tried for the last 55 years to find out what's wrong with me. And still I didn't find one single fault in me. You understand that? 55 years I searched for any fault. Anything I look only good. But you ask, what about the Satraya, his faults? Oh, I can write volumes and volumes of these faults. I can never stop writing about the faults of the Satraya. But goodness, oh, I think such a good man, such a holy man, such a idol. I always see in this fashion, you see. So that's called, it's experience of that. So sometimes whenever ego is less, immediately you touch vibrations. That's for the whole world, you know. What prevents us only to enveloped and caught in this gross state because of our ego. You can't see anything beyond that visible things, you see. And transcend this physical world and break the ego. You see many multi-dimensional worlds exist far beyond our imagination. What our science and knowledge and technology is nothing. It is just a kindergarten children's game. So that's one experience. That's about that. Should Karma Yoga always take priority over pranayama and asanas? Well, I was doing my pranayama and I suddenly heard cry. Of course, I'm meditating and doing my pranayama, intense pranayama. Suddenly I heard a cry from there, help, help, help. God, you help them. I didn't hear, I did not make problem. That is not pranayama. The purpose of pranayama, the purpose of meditation, what's the purpose of all this? This means what you do, asana, pranayama, meditation, japa, etc. What's the purpose of all this?
To give you energy so you can serve. To utilize that energy for appropriate, meaningful purposes.
To attain yoga.
Better answer.
Getting to God.
To purify the mind.
Eh?
To purify the mind so you can attain the goal.
That's something better answer.
To open yourself up
To what?
to any needs that arise.
Oh, who cares about others' needs? I am just happy with
To destroy your ego.
little better.
Be able to give.
The yoga is uniting with all the self. There is no individual self, there is only one self, one God. I and my Father are one. I am in you, you are in me, I am He. Who said that? Jesus. The same Eastern philosophy, I am in Father Arman, he said Aham Brahmasmi. So the man called from hell is me, my own self. So if I just stand only, then I am not identifying with this needy person. If still I didn't understand, I got 2 hands and 10 fingers. Which hand I use more? Left or right? I'm a right-handed person. So which hand I use more? Right, isn't it? So I love my right hand more than my left hand. Not only that, this right hand is always angry with the left hand. You lazy, stupid. I do all the work and you lazy, you don't do anything. Very little work you do. All the time he's fighting with the left hand because he's lazy. Now, suddenly, the right hand got injured. The left hand was happy. You stupid fellow, you see, it's not very funny. You always quoted me, it's good, you nice thing happened to you. That's what left hand will say. What left hand will do? The right hand is injured now. It will help to put the bandage, and then it cannot do the work. Right hand cannot do the work. Now the left hand will take all the work of the right hand. Is it because I said so to the left hand? Who said that? Who did it? Before he used to be lazy, but now the right hand is not working. Automatically the left hand will do everything what we have to perform for the help to help this body, the left hand. Though it's not so efficiently, it will do, is it not? It will keep quiet like before?
No, because it has to survive.
Its survival also is depending upon everything. So there is no difference between right hand or left hand. Neither left hand gets credit afterwards after doing a great job. Right hand sends a message, thank you left hand, oh, at last you are doing a good thing for me. He never sends a get well card or a thank you card. So this is the same situation. The purpose of life is to unite ourselves. This separation, I am different from you because you are English, I am Indian, and you are Catholic, I am Protestant. You are a Muslim, I am a Jew. You are white, I am black. This distinction exists only in your mind. Until you remove this distinction, there is no unity. That's called yoga, to bring this oneness. So, the question is, which is important? Should karma yoga always take priority? So, I am doing pranayama with the right hand. Left hand burnt. Which is the priority now? Pranayama or to take care of the left hand? The priority is pranayama, is it not? you wait that. Let me fit my pranayama. But there's no hand. Who is going to support the body, you see? So think in that term. Karma yoga is not something just working. Work is worship, dedicate to God. That does not mean that you must work all the time. A bulldozer also works what bulldozer gets. A bulldozer does more job, less time, without expecting anything in return. So he's a good karma yogi. Yet bulldozer will get what? Oil and lubrication. Gas, that's all it will get. It will not get liberation. So also a donkey. Donkey serves washerman. In India, washerman carries the clothes to wash in the rivers on a donkey's back. And the evening he comes back home. Donkey get what? Just carrot and possible. That's occasionally once in a year. Just hay and oats is possible. Or if he didn't have hay and oats, he has to go and eat himself wherever he can find the grass. And even after eating grass from the roadside, he still serves the master. So the donkey will be getting liberation, is it not? So karma yoga is not action. It is removing this agency, I am the doer. That must go. You are not the doer, we are not the doer. Within that there is infinite power, God's power working. We can't see it. That power makes this body to move. So the karma yoga remove this egoism. I am the doer. Oh God, help came from, someone just called for help. So, who is calling? God is calling to test you. I tell you a story of the master. Master was meditating like other Swamis when he first came in Swargashram, other side of the Ganges. Those days, the place was only few Swamis used to live, and they get free food from the kitchen. There's a public kitchen. When the bell rings, they get free chapati and little watery lintels. That's all basic, right? And so when the bell rang, Master used to go through that small path to the public kitchen to get it. But that particular day, he did not see any other Swamis, not his disciple. He was alone. There are other Swamis or his colleagues. They also came to meditate like him. And as he was going to the kitchen to get the food at the midday, he did not see any other Swamis coming through the path. He was wonderstruck. But he saw all were going through a roundabout way, further up in the mountain hill, and coming to a very winding path. They were coming to the kitchen. Kitchen is called Kshetra. So when he arrived there, he asked them, why did you all go roundabout way? Why didn't you take this usual path? Immediately those Swamis warned him, oh, Shivananda, don't go that direction, that path. In that one of the hut, an old Swami is having cholera. It's very contagious. Don't go that direction at all. Please go around. Master then at that time told them, you all came to see God. God was on your way, but you went round about God. With that he ran to this man, the old Swami, and came and took care of him, whatever he can to bring him back to, yes, absolutely he's lying helplessly, the old Swami, with cholera, vomiting and purging. He did not just went for meditation. He saw God comes in the form of a sick man. God can come anyway. He won't do. You think God comes only the dancing Shiva? He can also will come and axe in his hand. You won't see God will come only always fruit in his hand. God will can come with a sword in his hand too. Can you see God? He may come as a thief. He can come as a sick man. He can come an old man. He can incognito. He will come in many forms. He will appear to see, to test you. That are you seeing God in everything, or only one particular form you want to see Him? Then God, you won't see God. So that is nature of service. Karma Yoga means Karma Yoga is not just doing work. That particular office, oh God, you have given me this opportunity to serve you through this particular sick man or this particular condition. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. This way you develop your awareness as God is present in everything. That's all. The entire purpose of yoga is to see the presence of God in all, whether good or bad. As Lord Krishna said in the Gita, Shunijava, Shapakajita, Pandita, Samadarshana. In an untouchable, in a dog, in a pandit, in a learned person, and in a saint, you see the same soul. You don't see any difference from an untouchable, an illiterate, stupid, a thief, and a great sage. They are one and the same. The same God shines equally. That unity comes. Without that karma yoga, you will never able to see that. Merely asana pranayama only build up your ego. That will be another story. And a man went to the forest and spent 20 years in pranayama, and his kundalini is already going up, and tremendous psychic powers now. And one day he was doing his pranayama and bringing the kundalini up. Suddenly a bird came and sat on the top of the tree and dropped, and it just came straight on his sahasrara. This young yogi looked at the stupid bird, didn't have any respect for this great yogi who was able to bring the prana all the way up here, spent 20 years in this ass. He was thinking and looked at it. That power of his energy literally made the bird into ashes. See my power. Next time don't do that, but nothing else. With this great yogi power, now he knows how his power works. He came naturally when hunger comes, he had to go to beg, you see. So they come back. So he came to the village, went to one house, and this is when you go for begging. It's legally allowed because we are Swami. Because there are beggars also. We don't know who is a beggar, who is a Swami. But all begging. But it doesn't matter. So we have a cloth and a vessel. Om Narayana Hari. We repeat this word, mantra, Narayana Hari. That means, when they hear this word Narayana Hari means, oh, someone is hungry, some holy man is there waiting. So the householder will bring some food. Sometimes you get, sometimes you get scolded, that depending upon the householder's nature. And when he said this yogi, we just now burned the bird, and he's hungry now, he's great yogi, for 20 years now. And he said, Narayana Hari, Narayana Hari. And she was an ordinary housewife, but she is taking care of her invalid husband. And she's giving a bath to his invalid husband. And it's the duty of the householder to attend a holy man. But she just said, I am just in the middle of the thing. Oh, holy man, please wait. I'll be back soon. As soon as I finish with my husband, I'll be with you. She shouted from inside. because she doesn't want to offend him, because also she can't leave her invalid husband that she's helplessly lying there. So she shouted, and this yogi was little angry. How dare she could wait a holy man like man? I just burned a bird with my yogi power. She doesn't understand my greatness. As he was just swimming inside, then she shouted from inside again, "Oh, holy man, don't think I am the same bird you just burned in the forest. No one has. I am not the same bird you burned. Don't think that you can burn me too." She had a shock. He had a shock. My God, how did she know about what I did in the forest? I was only just thinking. His ego is little bit now burnt. It came down. He waited now patiently to find out what type of yoga this woman is practicing. How can she find this thing, what I did and what I'm thinking? She found out everything. That means she must be a great yogi too. He patiently waited, and then she finished her husband's duty and put him to the bed, and then we brought some food. And the holy man asked, "Tell lady, how did you know that I burned that bird in the forest?" Because there is no one saw except the incident only saw me. I only know. No one knew that it was in the forest happened. How did you know? This only happened about half an hour ago. How did you know? Oh, I don't know. You just go and ask. There is a next village. There is a butcher. Please go and ask him. He will tell you. How did the butcher know about it now? So in curiosity, he went to the next village and found out. And as soon as he arrived, this butcher is a young man, is the son of an old man, and the father he's taking care of the father. And as he was taking care of the father, this yogi came, Narayana Hari, and again the man said, "Well, the holy man, I'll be with you. Just wait a few minutes. I know that you have been sent. By such and such lady gave you to come and contact me. Is it not?" Of course, there was no telephone or anything in those days. You see. I said, "My God, how did you know about it? How did they communicate so fast?" He just left the village and straight away he came here, and by that time he already got the message. How did he find out? So he waited. Then asked the secret. How did you know all these things? That lady knew everything about things, and you know what type of yoga you are practicing. I don't do any practice. I just do my duty. Early morning I get up. I take up my father. He's my only person I am having. He's an invalid person. I just take care of him. I do my work. And then I go to my job at the butcher. I come back again and take care of my father. That lady, she's just an ordinary housewife. She used to take care of her husband. And with the same devotion, I used to take care of my father. And just same devotion you do to do your pranayama. What you have, the devotion to pranayama, we do devotion to our father and to her. She did to her husband. And that way, they purify the heart. And she doesn't see it's just an husband, invalid husband with ulcers and with all these things. Within that ulcer's body, that same divinity shines. So she served him with all her heart and love. So also, I don't see my father is just a human being. The same self is shining in him. So I serve him, though he came as my father. So this way our heart is purified, and we can see everything what is happening without going to the asana and pranayama. And the yogi learned a lesson. What's the lesson? Mere asana and pranayama, etc. cannot destroy the ego and anger. He had control over the psychic forces, but he did not have control over his own anger. You understand? So when you serve, you have to serve in every conditions and every type of people, and you will see that whether you are improving or not. You can test yourself. When you do merely pranayama alone, I did pranayama in the Himalayan caves several years, and if one small nice someone is angry, and also my neighbor, next door neighbor, also another Swami living in another cave, you take a small worthless mud pot, he will get so angry, he will scold you left and right. It's because you stay in that solitude and do pranayama for years, you got no way to know that whether your mind is purified or not. And the test comes, you fail. But in karma yoga, it's not so. You have to meet every type of people. good and bad, and people like you, people may not like you, people scold you. But still you see the same God. You know your strength of that mind at that time. It's not easy. You can every day you have been thrown into the fire, and each time you come up successfully. I mean, oh, thank God, I came out. So, Karma Yoga is very essential to see your progress. And again, merely working alone is not sufficient. Synthesis. So, if this kind of emergency comes up and you have your duties invaluable, then you have to find a time where no one will disturb you. When I was doing Karma Yoga in ashram, I used to do 4 times pranayama, morning, midday, evening and midnight. And sometime, evening I won't be able to, because Karma Yoga, I have to also do active duties. When everyone goes to bed, I just do quite very late hours, I do my asana and pranayama. Even in the army, I started my yoga when I was in the army, World War II. And there, of course, everyone has to get up at early morning for roll call and PT and parade. And I get up at before, 2 hours before, and I do my asana and pranayama and meditation, and even altar. I make a small altar in my bed, because of course it's a barrack like that, and we've got mosquito net. So I put the mosquito net and put my altar, open it up, and do my puja arati without awakening anybody. That's the only time I could do it. And I do my pranayama, which no one will know. In the darkness I have to do it. Because if they find out I'm doing worship, etc., they think I'm crazy. They'll send me to the hospital for exam. Because military doesn't understand all these things, you see. So, God puts you in different position for your own good, to test you. Like Master Shivananda and that other, they were all Swamis came to meditate, but Master saw that sick man is not a sick man, he is the God came there, you see. If you understand that, then you will understand. Got it? Now, one more story. It's a good thing to know more story. I can hundreds of stories, but I don't have much time. An young man came to a great master. And a brilliant student. He asked, "Oh master, I don't want anything from this world. I'm tired of this world. I want to see God. Please initiate me. You are a great master. Your initiation will maybe bring me realization." So the master said, "Well, young man, tomorrow, 4 o'clock morning, in the morning I'll give you initiation, get ready. Take a bath, that's the natural, for initiation must take a bath, etc., and clean yourself and put on new clothes. 4 o'clock, come exact 4 o'clock, don't be late, that's the only right time. The muhurtam is right, the stars are the right time, and don't be late." "Oh Gurudev, I'll be there." He didn't even sleep whole night, he was waiting for the 4 o'clock to be there. And he came, he felt the cold Ganges, he took the bath and changed his clothes. And he is coming, he's a Brahmin boy. You know, Brahmin means priest class. Untouchability exists even now, for that, not so bad, but previously an untouchable cannot come near our home, 100 yards away from my house. They had to stand there and shout that they are not allowed to come in, nor I can go near him. If I go near, I have to take a bath, because I am polluted. So my father and mother saw that I am going near an untouchable. They won't admit me in the home until I go and take a bath. Because you polluted, you just go and take a bath. Even just going nearby is sufficient, you know. Such is the strict rules. So you can't touch an untouchable. And so this Brahmin boy was brought in this orthodox condition, and he's coming for holy initiation. And early morning he finished his bath, and with all the flowers and fruits he coming to the master to get the initiation. At that time, master said previous night, there is an untouchable sweeper. All the sweeping, all the menial jobs are done by the low class untouchables. You know, they clean the latrines and clean the houses, they have brooms and they're dirty. They live always in dirty state. And this untouchable, the master called, you know, 4 o'clock that young boy is going to come after bath from the Ganges to get initiation from me. When he comes in that darkness, you just go and touch him gently with your broom. He gave this instruction. Of course, a sweeper won't do that because it's very unholy to go and touch even a Brahmin boy, and especially with his broom, it's like a crime. But anyhow, that he didn't understand why master is asking him to do this job. So one morning he's coming, he pretended as we are sweeping the floor, sweeping the street, and the boy is coming from the Ganges with all his holiness, with all the new clothes and with all their ashes, holy ashes everywhere, and the garland, and with all the great devotion, with the present and fruits, etc., and the garlands to the master. As he was just coming, the super came and gently touched the, accidentally, pretended he actually touched his body with that broom. That means he is polluted now. He cannot go for initiation. Forget about that. This Brahmin looked at it. You stupid rascal! How dare touch me with your dirty broom? Don't you, I'm a Brahmin boy? I'm going for initiation. You made me dirty again. Now I have to take another bath and do my pranayama and purification. Oh, I have to do lots of pranayama to purify my. It takes about 15 minutes of purification. Ooh. He was angry and scolding left and right. In the rain, he went to the Ganges and took another bath. Then he did, he did all the baths to purify and so forth, and repeated all the mantras you can imagine to remove all the impurities by touching that. And then by that time, 20 minutes late, Master asked to come 4 o'clock. Now he arrived 4:15. Master was watching all these things, but without pretending anything. Oh, my son, you are late 15 minutes. You are supposed to be here 4 o'clock. The time is past. Now I can't give you initiation until next year. 1 more year? Master, it's not my fault. That stupid, rusted, rascal, untouchable. He has got any more respect for Brahmins. And he came and touched with the broom. I had to go and take a bath and purify, do all the Gayatri before I come to purify myself. I don't want to come to the Master's feet with all the impurities from that wretched, untouchable. So I did the purification, Master. That's what I was late. It was not my fault. Well, my son, you did the right thing, but the problem is, I won't initiate at this time. It's not the right thing. You have to wait 1 whole year. My God, what a mad thing happened. So he did karma yoga for here in ashrams, and there working with the ashrams and looking this work and doing that job. 1 year spent for karma yoga, and then he went in. At the end of the year, he went, Master, today is the day. You said you are going to initiate me. Yes, yes, yes. You just go again, go and take a bath and come back as usual. And I'll be waiting. Don't be late this time. Yes, Master, I'll be there. And this year, Master instead told that super, well, don't merely touch him with a broom. Just literally hit him with the broom, accidentally, inaccidentally. So he came with all the holders, he came up. And here comes he swung the dirty broom with kind of filth, etc. You know, and it just slipped on him. He was again, my God, again you are this. How did you find me always? He scolded him again, but not so much like the previous year, you know. He went on because he doesn't want to be late. He went and jumped in the Ganges and by that time he was 3 minutes late. Master said, you know, you are again late 3 minutes. Gurudev, it is not my problem. That people was there again. Is it? But anyhow, you have to wait another year, my son. So this went on, and then each year this type of excuse came, so he didn't get initiation. But he went on doing karma, and then 1 year he never cared about asking anyone because you know something is going to happen. And that Master himself called, you know, today is the initiation day. Please be there on time. Yes, Master, if he says so. So he went and took the bath. And this time Master said, you just take a whole bucket of the night soil, you know, the correct night soil, you know, from the electric. Just pour that whole thing on him. And this time he poured the night soil. This boy, thank you. Without taking any bath, without having one single word, thank you. And with same prayerful, with the filth, he went to the Master on time. He didn't have no reaction at all. Master saw the boy coming full of filth, and he also watched that he did not react. That he never saw that even is an untouchable super. Now Master said, you know, now you are ready, my son, for initiation. Now you are ready. Because he conquered the anger, conquered the idea that he is super Brahmin and he is a stupid, untouchable, illiterate. He didn't see this difference. That mind has been purified by karma. Years and years he spent there, like a gold is going on repeatedly, put in the fire and then Again you beat it, again you put in the fire. These impurities are removed. His mind is opened up. And now repeat ah. By the time you repeat the ah, the sound, his energy starts going up. Oh, he's already reached he already gone into transcendental state. It's just like a dried wood or a dried hair stalk. Only one small tiny flame is sufficient. Entire hair stalk goes in flame. He's suddenly gone into an immediate state of samadhi. These are the stories illustrate. Purification is necessary. The ego must go. Even teachers can't do anything to us when we have this ego. So when I arrived first time, I want to do more pranayama meditation. Master said, go and wash all the clothes of the people in the Ganges. My God, I didn't even wash my own clothes. That's a menial job. I never do that. What's the difference between I came to awaken the Kundalini, not to wash the clothes. Well, that ego must go. Then only the energy. This is the thing about Karma Yoga. Okay, I can give most of this is enough. Okay. Can asana be as powerful on the meridians as needles are? Meridians, the word is used as by Chinese doctors for nerves, nadis, and we call it Sanskrit nadis. Meridians, acupuncture, when they use the needles, they use only a specific area. Like a needle here or needle here to shut off the prana or activates the dormant energy, or like a short circuit. See, these wires are going. We just take a needle, as the live wire is there, you punch, take a needle, punch, put a pierce through that wires, through that insulation. You are holding it, what will happen as you push that needle into the wires? What will happen? You get a shock. Why? And also, if suppose the needle touches both the wires, then there will be a short circuit. And the instrument far away won't get any other energy, and there will be a blowout or fuse. That means short circuited energy. This happens to us many times. The nadis are emanating energy, psychic energies like nerve energy, like electricity. So acupuncture doctors use the needles to release this on a specific area for a specific purpose. But yoga exercise is not, though it activates many of the acupressure areas one exercise, but it is not just to only for that particular area, like needles and pins. This become a habit. When you do asanas, there will be no more restrictions of this prana anywhere. Prana moves mostly all over when you finish the yogic exercises. So the effect is not only on the special acupuncture area where the needles are put, but effect is on the whole system, because we're working not only in a specific area, but on the entire area. Like in the shoulder stand, it also not only brings circulation, thyroid and parathyroid in the inverted shoulder stand, but there's acupressure area on that area, an important nerve, like the vagus nerve, which has been connected to the respiratory centers and circulatory centers. This vagus nerve gets a contraction, so impulses are increased there too for these heart muscles and so forth. So there's definitely asanas will help more. But again, it's not applied on a specific area like the needle. It's applied for the entire hand or entire legs or entire body. So exercise will control the meridians through asanas. And then of course special exercise there like peacock. Who can do peacock? Can do peacock? Peacock. Just watch the pressure, acupressure. On the solar plexus, the most important area, You see the pressure on the solar plexus area. The tremendous amount of energy is being now released from that area to other areas. So we do use the pressures, not the needles like acupressures through asanas. There are two things also in the acupuncture. The needles also, there are acupressures they use some in various areas of the and so that is, so it is, effect is the same, but again specifically we don't use it for a particular area, it's for the entire system. There's only difference there. What are the benefits of so many the organization as staff? Benefit of joining the organization as staff. What are the benefits of joining the organization as staff? Who wrote that? Doesn't matter. Anonymous. Well, joining. What are the benefits of joining as staff? You don't have to pay the taxes. First benefit, because you don't make any money. Second, you don't have to pay any insurance, near health insurance, not Red Cross, not Blue Cross, because you are not expected to get any sickness. Second benefit. Third benefit, as you join the staff, as you are not paid, no one can command you what to do. You become the boss. And if anyone says, do this, who are you, tell me? So you can ask this question. But in the paid places, they will treat you like a slave. You are paid, do this, otherwise you will be fired. So here, you cannot be fired because there's no one to fire. That doesn't mean that you can carry on anyhow. So that benefit you got it. And you are supposed to get up at meditation every morning, but as a staff, you can pretend that you are sick. But if you are a paid worker, if you don't go to job, you won't get your pay. Here they can't throw you out. So you can say, oh, I'm sick that morning, I can't get up in the morning for meditation. And then, yes, I want to get a meditation, but what happened? One staff said, I was lying down, I was just about to get up for meditation. I saw a cat was sleeping on my feet, I didn't want to disturb the cat. There's a fucking bad meditation. So you got many excuses you can avoid meditation. And you don't have to worry about anything. And then, finally, as a staff, you will be able to travel without money. From one place to another. Because they're all like jet travel. They let some of the moving from one place to another. I just travel, and all our Swamis, though we don't have any money, any bank balance, somehow we travel. Krishna, how many times you crossed the Atlantic Ocean last year or this year? Once. This year once only. How many times last year?
Always in North America.
North America, okay. And how many times your parents crossed the Atlantic Ocean? Once. And in your lifetime, you already crossed several times. So Lakshmi, how many times you crossed the Atlantic Ocean? Twice. Twice in the last year.
Not in last year, last year, 2 years.
Last 2 years. Okay. And so you get lots of opportunity to travel. Now, what more benefit do you want?
You get a free pizza when you go to New York.
Well, that's the benefits of joining the organization as a staff. Now, non-benefits. Or fringe benefits, what do you call it? Fringe benefits?
That's extra money.
No, fringe benefits, what do you call it?
That's an extra benefit.
That's extra. Fringe benefits, you get an opportunity to get free asana class. And you will also get sometimes, if you are trained enough, you get an opportunity to serve others to teach yoga. You get these others asanas, pranayamas, and these are fringe benefits. And you got an opportunity to help humanity, if you like it, of course. If you don't like it, still you have staff. But the real benefit is, slowly you feel it for your heart. Because you got no worry, no tension, no stress as a staff. For senior staff may have, but not junior staff, because they don't have any problem. So you got no stress, which I mentioned yesterday in the lecture. So you can avoid the stress and tension of this world. And if the world is going in flames, you can repeat Soham, I am the Soham, Soham. Because you already know who you are. Therefore, it's a good thing to join as a staff if you want to come to humanity. And all those things. When do souls have to spend time in a plane to enjoy or suffer for those actions other than the earth plane? Why do souls have to spend time in a plane to enjoy or suffer for actions other than the earth plane? The question is not very clear, but I understand. Why do souls have to spend time in a plane to enjoy or suffer for those actions other than the earth plane? Those actions, which actions? That's what I don't understand. Those actions other than the earth plane. But actions what we do in earth plane. There is no other action. We cannot do any action without the body. So actions we only do in the earth plane. And after finishing the action with earth plane to this body, the momentum will continue. Like a fan. An electric fan is plugged to the outlet. It is revolving at 2000 RPM per minute. Or 3000 RPM. And then as it's revolving, you pull the plug out, no more electricity. Still the fan is revolving. Not at 2000 RPM, maybe 1800, and then reduce 1700, and 1000, 500. In time, it will slowly stop. But the moment you pull the electricity, doesn't mean there's no power, it will stop. Still it will continue. So our physical activities, whatever you do as a yogis or as a farmer or as an engineer or as a politician, we all do the activities according to our nature through this body. But the effect of that action, even though the body is pulled off from the physical world, is gone back, but your astral body will continue to revolve the same speed as it started for a long time, whirling around in the astral planes. And then slowly, that momentum, what created now, will slow down there in the astral plane. That depending upon how fast you are going now, or how much good or bad you have done. So you stay in higher planes or lower planes according to your karma. And when that momentum there exhausted, then you are brought back again to the physical plane, reincarnate. So you stay in the astral plane as long as the karma momentum lasts. And then you continue where you left your action in the previous lives. So this way the karma works. So astral plane, you cannot do any action in the astral plane, nor there is any karma there. Astral planes are like the dimensions where you live with your credit balance or debit balance. Just like you came to this place for 2 days vacation, you paid. So you can stay without doing any work. You didn't do any work for these people then, isn't it? You paid. Now as soon as you finish your vacation, you don't have any more money to pay, they will ask you to get out. We can only stay here as long as we pay our, we can do anything we want now. But by this evening, our karma is over here. There's no more money to pay, they will say get out. If we stay tomorrow, what we will do? If instant, if we don't have the money to say, they will call the police. These people are trespassing on our property. So the police will come and get you all of us from here. Same thing, in the heaven and hell, you can't stay permanently. That's what the difference between Christian present belief. It's not original Christianity, but present belief. You just, when you die, you go to eternal heaven or eternal hell. That's not possible. With one small 100 years of lifespan, who is eligible to go to heaven? Not many. And hell will be overpopulated by this time. And there is no natural place to stand on the foot now, because there is so many sinners are going for time immemorial, filled with people, you know. That's not, hell and heaven is only temporary abode. Like, hell is just like the prisoners going away. For 10, even life imprisonment, they come after 15 years or 10 years, during life imprisonment they are released. And then they can be a good person or just go back to jail again if they do karma. So also a good person gets lots of money then for holiday, and this money also will get exhausted. So he has to come and work. The astral planes are only we can stay as long as this momentum lasts. And sometimes momentum lasts for, of course, I give the example of the fan. It's only for a few seconds, but there the few seconds of Earth plane is like a few seconds of that plane compared to Earth plane. It becomes kalpas. You can say years and millions of years in astral plane until exhausted. Then you have to come back again. You cannot escape again coming back to physical plane. But if you have done only short karmas, good karma, a little only, then you come back faster. Every 500 years, 200 years. And somehow the souls will come immediately after reincarnation, because their time has not come to leave, like an accident, etc. They have to come back immediately to finish their karma. And in that state is called, they can remember their past lives, as many people do remember their past lives. The death and birth takes place within an year, so the memory is there in their brain. Some of the children, you can remember the experience of the astral plane, you see. One child reincarnated, and then she used to remember her past life. To cut short the story, I haven't time to go deeper. I was asked this question. For they all recorded about her past lives, and it's all verified and true. But my question was to this girl was, and what happened, because this girl was studying in Bombay for a MA degree, and then she had a tongue cancer, and then she died in the hospital. And then she told them which hospital she died. She reincarnated now, she's about 40 years old girl. She told all of the hospital where she died and who are the hospital, the doctors and nurses, and the description of the hospital where she had been undergone the treatment. This all was true, and she mentioned about previous parents. But my question was, what did you do after your death in the hospital, and then before you were born, where were you? And in the 4-year-old girl, we had a description of an astral plane and experience, and she said, Swami, I don't want to come back, it is so beautiful there. Everyone was loving. And even she couldn't even remember that small period of astral existence. So what even here I think, Gary's daughter, I heard yesterday, she was talking to Mummy, before I came to you, how old she is? How is she? Where is she? Anybody here? Okay, she used to tell the Mummy, I saw you, before I came to this plane, I saw you and I came, and before I came through you. She used to remember a little bit of the astral experience at all. So so in the astral experience, if this remembrance of the past lives and this astral experience possible only when the death and the birth takes place between a short time, a year and a half, because memory is still very clear in the subconscious mind. But as the child grows up, this memory will slowly, she cannot remember anything of what she said when she was 4 and 5 years old. But by then 7 and 8, the memory has been like amnesia takes place, Only she can remember what she said, but she cannot remember that. It's always invariably it happens. So that is natural life, So it's not, there's no rule that how long you are going to stay. That's depending on good karma or bad karma. Bad karma had a long time you had to stay, and so on. That's about that. What factors determine that a soul is sent to different planes of existence other than this one? What factor determines? That's the only factor determines your karma again. What is action you perform? Your actions are very certain and good, and very little negative thoughts. Then you are drawn to that area where thought vibrations are in the same plane. All the planes are nothing but vibrations, like the violet, indigo, green, blue, yellow, orange, red. These visible colors are nothing but waves, different waves. Violet is the low frequency range is in the higher range, and on the other side, ultraviolet still low frequency, short wave, and then still for short waves like X-rays and gamma rays is all below the ultraviolet frequency, and infrared and other rays exist on the other side of the frequency. Same way, all the planes are only different frequencies. So if your thought is very pure, like you are meditating regularly, you transcend most such a selfishness to karma yoga, etc., then you will not be born in the lower planes, you will be born only 4th, 5th, and 6th plane, like advanced yogis. But your thought is very gross and selfish. You went to church once on Sunday and put a dollar or a pound and got a passport stamp because you went to a good Christian, and then you get only first heaven. But there are other Christians who go to monasteries and spend years in meditation, like monks and nuns, etc. They're also Christians. If both people, if Christian went to, in Belfast, he went to Protestant church, and E.M. Presbyterian, he got a lecture from E.M. Presbyterian, got his Protestant stamp. Another Catholic Christian went to Catholic church and got a stamp, and where in, what is the name of Belfast? The other side, London, there? Yeah, another area, but more Catholics are there. So, and then another priest, another Christian who is in the monastery spent all his life as a priest and a monk, observing silence and prayer and meditation and service. Now all three died, and they are going to the same heaven. Then there is no justice, no meaning. Okay. So those are all Christians, they will not go to the same heaven. They will go to the first one, the two people may go to the first heaven, barely they reach. And then others will go, the monk, etc., they go to 5th and 6th planes, you see. And the thoughts are very purified. So if you are practicing meditation yoga all your life as I have taught you, you may not go in the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th plane even. You won't go to the same plane.
Swami, the bus is right.
Okay. So, I mean, oh my God, so many. Why don't you put some money there? Okay, one more, last one. Oh my God, the big one. Why don't we just maybe tonight we get a lecture?
Yes, we have a lecture in the city at Kensington. Where is it from? Kensington.
Kensington Palace Terrace.
Essex Church. Well, we'll take there.
Okay, otherwise I won't have much.
And everybody is welcome to come. The bus is here now, so we're just trying to get you all
Okay.
to see.
Well, let me come through now. Come through. Okay, come through. So, your thought and your action is been rewarded to you. This weekend we spent here is accelerated your thought vibration and made it purer. It's more purer the thought, your mental vibration will oscillate in a dimension. Third heaven, fourth heaven, each heaven is depending upon also each chakra. So if your thought and prana is in third chakra and you die at that time, you will be reborn in a third heaven. If you are able to bring the energy and thoughts to the fourth chakra, then you will be born in the fourth heaven, and so fifth, sixth, and beyond the fourth, fifth and sixth, only great masters, they don't reborn, they don't come back, they stay in the astral plane until the end of the kalpa, end of the destruction of the universe, which eventually happens, but they stay in the Satsviva, you call seventh heaven, for a long time, until the destruction of the universe. And when all the universe, not only the physical earth I'm talking, all the galaxies, all the astral universe of heaven, the astral planes are their heavenly planes, all the 7 astral planes, all the lower astral planes, and the infinite number of astral galaxies they're all merged into the supreme, and they're called cosmic night. In the cosmic night, these great souls merge with the supreme being, and they don't come back again. See, that's how the karma and your brain works. Om Shanti. Om Om Sarve Sham Swastir Bhavatu, Sarve Sham Shanti Bhavatu, Sarve Sham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarve Sham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarve Bhavatu Siddha, Sarve Santu Ramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Vashantu Mahadashantu Bhavare, Asatoma Satamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Yoma Nisankamaya, Om Purnamada Purnamida Purnama Purnamudachane Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavachishyate Om Shanti 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 Om Peace, Peace, Peace. What a lot of mercy and a lot of salutations and prostrations to thee. Our omnipresent, omnipotent and omniscient, Lord Satchidananda, Thou art existence, knowledge, bliss absolute. Thou art the Lord of all beings. Grant us an understanding heart, healing for vision, balanced mind, faith, devotion, and wisdom. Grant us not spiritual strength, to resist temptation, and to control the mind. Free us from egoism, lust, anger, greed, hatred, and jealousy. Fill our hearts with divine revelations. Let us behold thee in all these names and forms. Let us serve thee in all these names and forms. Let us ever remember thee. Let us ever sing thy glories. With thy name your honor is. This is our forever. Bolo Sadguru Shivananda Maharaj ki
Jai. Bolo Shri Vishnu Devananda Maharaj ki Jai.
Well, I'm not very informed about our September Peace Mission. Well, no, another fireworking ceremony in Berlin, West Berlin, and then also maybe music. From your living room to bedroom, and then just go under the bed and you can hide when the missile comes. Yesterday I saw they were talking some kind of minister, I don't know, I read in the paper only, the lectures call, it's very interesting. And I think if the missiles come, Russian missiles come, what they have to do is called defense force, defense, civil defense. They said everyone should take a gong and bang, everybody to bang and the whistle. Everyone, whatever available, they try to take bang, bang, everyone. So everyone starts banging, banging. So everyone will know that the missile is coming. one letter wrote, well, the new law is that it is a comment. That under paragraph so and so, subparagraph so and so, such and such rule, everyone should, every institution, and charity organization, hospitals and hotels and private homes, anything that can make sound bang must be surrendered to the important place at the 10 Downing Street, and Margaret Thatcher will personally take that and then acknowledge day or night, every time we can surrender this sounding instrument, she will bang herself and acknowledge your great charity. This is called civil defense. When the missile comes, what type of defense is there? Again, another article I read, everyone, Americans, there is, in fact, all of the true people who have investigated the coming civil defense, that it is impossible. There is no way any civil defenses you can think of. So they don't too much care about. If they are doing something, it's only for public relationships, just to keep them busy. It's not for any real value. No one can. Even if you make underground shelters, just imagine a multi-megaton bomb explodes one at 20,000 feet and at the ground level. Ground, it will make a 200 feet crater and kick up all the dust and radiations up in the atmosphere. And the multi-megaton bomb which explodes on the upper atmosphere, it's wide range it can reach over Britain. Suppose when it explodes over Britain, in London, the entire London is from higher altitude, everything. So from bottom, from the top, the heat generated by it is even at 30 miles away from the center of the blast. Anything, curtains and opens and windows, anything, any object which is burnable will literally ignite automatically. So also the skin, anything exposed, for a fraction of a second that heat, you are burnt. And there is no way to treat you for, You will die within 20 days, 30 days with a burned skin. I saw some of the pictures were taken in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Unbelievable suffering of those people. Without any hospital, doctors, medical aid, 20 days you have to suffer, all our bodies burned and raw flesh, no water, no all radiated, contaminated water. And what type of life that is going to be? Do you understand that? And they're thinking,
Nature being destroyed.
yes, of course, that's unbelievable. The destruction to the properties and animals and to the vegetation. For centuries you won't have been cultivated anything, everything is contaminated. That's true, there's no doubt about it. But what I'm trying to convey is, we are in this situation, and still we think everything is going to be all right. You got a government. There is nobody there to help us now, you see, except God. You don't have anybody in this planet. Not one government or one leader is interested for the planet. They're interested only for their particular community because they get their position and power. They think they can maintain this power position by having